Okay, this is just a little intro. I'm doing a video today. I thought I'm walking up, so I'm a little out of breath. Walking up, and no microphone. But look at this. I think this is maybe, probably, could be the civet cat poo that maybe has... No. It could be coffee beans in there. Although coffee beans are a little bit not very ripe right now. I'm not sure, but that was my first thought when I looked at it. It might not be coffee, it might be something else. Anyway, actually it looks a bit more like tamarind. Well, I'm not going to stick my fingers in it. Anyway, there's that. We're walking up. Up. Oh, okay. Maybe I could add, let's see now. Right in the center there. From my little phone, I can't really recognize it, but in person I can. There's a big tree trunk. Well, not a trunk, it was a huge branch from up there. It fell down across the path, and you know, there's a bit of it there. Look, and this was like a couple of years ago at the most. Well, there's a bit of a trunk down there too, right there. Just goes to show how fast things break down, you know. Up here. Check that out, number 3 video before the video even starts. So look at the red. I don't know what kind of fruit these are. I think I asked Peace to tell me if I can eat it, but I think not. But apparently the civet cats or whatever chomp on them. I suspect it's these, not the coffee, because they're little red bits, if you notice that. And I see red up there. So that's probably that. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, hello. Gee, I wonder. Anyway, welcome to the official part of the video. Right, okay. Doing water. Oh, actually, I haven't done a water walk in quite a while. But you know, oh wow, the water's running really slow. Okay, we better adjust that. Oh yeah, okay, well it's clear, that's nice. Anyway, where are we? Yeah, so my friend Wolfgang, who does a wonderful podcast that kind of spins around environmental climate issues and also extinction rates and possibilities. Oh, you know, it's kind of this darkness. Okay, that's better, maybe. Anyway, yeah. So Wolfgang, in one of his great podcasts, mentioned me, which was really sweet, you know. Really nice of him. He's such a great guy and so thoughtful and really cares about what's going on. Anyway, he mentioned he interviewed me. He was very brave and interviewed me. Because the problem for me with interviewing is I'm not... Well, half the time I'll start talking about kendo or something. Totally unrelated, right? Although, in a way, not. Yeah. So anyway, he made a nice mention of my sort of existence up here and all that. And going for water, and now I haven't done a water walk video in quite a while. So I thought, you know what? I should do one. I should do another. Because I was feeling a little bit worn out or something, you know? Not worn out exactly, but just like, a little bit of what's the point? Hell, you know. There's always a point though, and I certainly follow the idea of, you know, you have to keep going, never give up, never surrender. That's kendo. Not just kendo, but sure is kendo. Anyway, I wonder if you can see what I'm doing. Not really, eh? Can you see? Oh, there's the water. I should... Okay, hang on a sec. I'm going to make it so... See if you can see what I'm doing. But also see me. It's very tricky, eh? Okay, so let's put this here. Okay, you can't see me run the water, but maybe you can see me pour the water, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that works. But then you can't see the top of my head. So I have to, oh, life is just so difficult. Yeah, anyway, so Wolfgang mentioned, I should show you that it's actually drinkable, eh? Best water I've ever had. Yeah, so he mentioned sort of a bit of what I'm up to here and up in the mountains in north. I really don't like, hang on. Oh, Jesus! Oh, disaster has ensued. Okay, where are we now? How about that? Or how about we just move the whole damn thing back a bit? Oh, jeez. Oh, that might work. What do you think? Sorry, you've seen my hand here. See, I don't generally edit it, so you see everything. Oh, yeah, that's better, maybe. Yep. Yeah, so anyway, that sounds really nice. But, you mentioned, this is from a week or so ago, I guess. I thought, I haven't done a water video, and I probably should, because this is a major part of my life here. So I walk, this is going to be old news for some people, maybe. But if this is the first one you've ever seen, what I do here is I walk to this spring. There's a spring just over there, like about 8 feet, but it's connected by a pipe. So there's a little tap here that I use to get the water. So it's actually coming through a pipe, but it's almost at the spring. If the water's running really low, which is pretty rare, hasn't happened in a couple of years now. If it's running really low, I can go to the spring itself, and there's a cover on it, like a cloth cover, like a netting cover. And I can pull that back and get the water. But I prefer to just leave that because then it stirs up crap, right? Silt and stuff. Which isn't a big deal, but this pipe here that I'm drawing this from then goes into kind of my part of the village, and it's part of what supplies the village with tap water. So some of the people closer, like Pisutam, dear Pisutam, and other friends just down here a bit, they drink it right out of the tap. I have no problem. But the house that I'm in is really far from there. Like it's, I don't know, half a kilometer of this piping. And my sister Gung said, yeah, she didn't think I should drink it straight out. Although Pisutam drank out of my tap, so probably could. Anyway, I'm blathering now. So this is why I don't interview well, right? Blather, blather, blather. Anyway, so then Pisutam's, I guess, nephew's wife, I mean, in those days, I don't speak Thai great now, but I'm getting much better. And in those, she just showed me because we had passed this tap spring area when we were walking up to clear the ridge way up there, right? A fire ridge. And she sort of pointed that out, and then I remembered her pointing it out when we were walking by. Anyway, and she showed me a container. She said I could come here and get it if I want, right? So I did, and then it became a thing, right? So, like, I can get water, like purified water that they put in bottles. It's super cheap. It's like, I don't know, what is it, 20 baht? It's like 90 cents for 20 or 24 bottles, liter bottles, right? Even at a Thai level of living, it's not too bad, but I think they put a little bit of chlorine or something in it. Anyway, whatever. But anyway, the main thing is that this is pure water. I've never got sick off it, as far as I know. I've been sick a couple times, but anyway. And so, of course, for me, not of course, but there's something on. For me, it's the walking to water that becomes the thing, right? Bugs everywhere. Anyway, yeah. So now it's kind of, I will say it's like kind of like a meditation on water, and in turn on the essence of us being natural beings and all that stuff just spins in there, right? So now I just do it. when I run low, and I have some glass bottles at home that I fill up. So I have these plastic bottles. I don't want to have glass bottles here because it'd be way too heavy to carry. So I usually get 16 liters, which is about 16 kilos plus the other stuff. So it's probably talking 17, 18 kilos, right? Which is that's a chunk of weight, I'd say. But it's important to carry heavy weights. Very good for you. Very good, especially when you get older. Carry heavy weights when possible. So, and then what else at this time of year? It's a rainy season, right? At this time of year, it's a little, I don't go off far up in the mountains so much. Once in a while I will, but that's more of a cool season activity, it seems, you know. I could though, no problem. It's just that a lot of the trails are really overgrown now, and there's more risk of snakes and things, and anyway, whatever. You can do it, just gotta be careful, and it just turns out that these days I don't go as much. So, you know, heading up to get some water gives me a chance to get up into the forest and into the mountain a bit, you know. And yeah, I really love it. Anyway, so thanks to Wolfgang. Check him out. I'll put a link to that particular podcast that he did. And if someone wants to have a listen, great stuff as always. Something bit me right here. I've been like chewing on it for days. It's one of those things that, ouch, it hurts so much to do that. And yet it feels so good. Anyway. Of course, you know, if I'm getting a little spinny in my brain about things, you know, it's nice to get up into the forest too. That's about as cliche as it gets, but it's true. Let's see if I can do a long pour. Yeah. I've been ranting and raving a bit too much on Facebook. Look at that. Woo! Anyway, I'm not going to go on to it. Something about settlers and all that. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to let it go. Like, maybe this is enough for now. I'm almost filled my bottles. Fill these up. Couple more things. Have a nice long drink. Say a little thank you to the forest gods for this good water and all that. Forest spirits. Still have that great guitar for sale if anyone wants it. What else? Maybe I'll fill this. There we go. Have a drink. Always have a drink at the end. And take a bit. Throw it off into the ground. Because you have to share. Even though it's quite symbolistic. Is that a word? Symbolistic. It's a little bit metaphorical or symbolistic just to say thank you for the water and giving it back. Here, because it's soaking bloody wet. It's like, oh Lord. Anyway, it's so gorgeous, right? It's so lush. But it's really, the rainy season is something to witness everywhere in Thailand, I'd say, or in this part of the world, but definitely up here in the mountains, you know. What else? So, sometimes people want to know what it's like to hike here and dangers, you know. Like people are afraid. I know there's tigers in the region. I've never seen one or seen sign, but I've heard they're up here. And, you know, leopards, I think, or whatever the version up here. I think it's leopard. Lots of other animals. Don't really see them much. It's quite a wide area of fairly wild forest here. I'd say, you know, stay clear of the humans. Anyway, so people say, oh, danger. Snakes, of course. Snakes are probably the most unnerving and maybe the most dangerous animal, right? because they kind of hide, and I've seen snakes for sure, but I don't see them too often, considering how often I come up here, you know. Again, you know, there's lots of this. I think there's less interaction here than, say, lower down in the valley where there's more people and rice fields and all that. Because there's just more space, and there's no rice fields up here with. There's rats and things, but not. You know what I mean? Like, they have room to go to get away and all that. That's my thinking, though I'm not completely sure. But I'll tell you what the most dangerous thing is: are tree branches. You know what I mean? Like, no snake is gonna come and get me. And this is that big flippin' python. I don't know if you saw that video. It was in this village, this huge python going after a dog. I mean, I always have a knife and all that with me, if that would help. Anyway, it was huge. I'm sure it was 20 feet long, and like this big around. Anyway, yeah, so snakes are definitely something you need to be careful with. But branches, generally, I was going to say, generally speaking, snakes don't want to interact with you, right? We're too big to eat, most generally. Oh, there's those Burmese pythons. Oof, they're big. Anyway, do you know what I mean? Like, in general, animals kind of get out of the way of humans because they can be a bit dangerous, right? But the branches, they don't care. They're just going to fall whenever they want to. They don't care. Do you know what I mean? So quite often, you have to always have your ears open to hear it. What you hear is that kick, 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 and then poof, the thing falls, right? So when I hear kick, 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 you'll see me just go like this, right? And God knows, it'd be so hard to get out of the way because it's, yeah, anyway, I'm sure you can imagine figuring trajectory and all that, anyway. But I tell you one thing, because I practice kendo and iaido, right, as I've mentioned. But I practice the iaido up here because I can just do that on my own. And if it's not raining and stuff, I'll set a mat out and do some stuff down by my place and outside. And I was, like, before kendo or iaido, I was doing a small kind of meditation, I guess. And I heard, I was just sitting there, boom, boom, I got out, I stood up and moved aside, and boom, branch came right down where I was sitting. It was pretty big. It was like this big around. Probably might not have killed me, but you know what I mean? I'm sure as hell would have hurt. Anyway, whatever. So just got to keep aware, and I guess that's the thing about being in the woods and being in the wilds kind of thing. You just need to be aware, and so what it does is it makes a person, I think it helps to make a person aware because of necessity, I guess, and in general, if my prejudice coming out, but whatever. In general, I think when we're in urban situations, we have a tendency to just shut down all the full senses, right? Maybe because you have to, I don't know. Maybe because you don't need to have it, or maybe it's different senses, you know? Got to be aware of traffic and all that. Anyway, but there's more stuff here to be concerned about. Like, there's more. This is so. It's so lush here. I mean, there's just so much massive variety of living things. You know, insects, plants, trees, animals, snakes, bugs. Oh, insects, right? Bugs, same thing. Anyway. I guess that's enough for this part of this video. How long have I been going? 16 minutes, right? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do a walking one. How's that? So you can see what it's like at this time of year. Okay, thanks for watching. Sure, it's always a little bumpy, these walks. Sorry about that. Just the way it is. There's the trail. to be quite careful on the trail when it's this wet, of course. Oh shoot, you know what? I forgot to turn that other part of the tap on. Better go back. Okay, it's gonna be an extra long video. I could just stop it. La da dun dun, ya da dee da da dun. La da dun da da dun dee dun. La dun dee ya dun da dun. Fo da dun dee. Oh, la da dun, la da dun, la dun dee ya da da dee dun, la dun dee dun dee dun, do da dun dun. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me. Okay, see, here's what I did. Okay, so here's the tap. Ooh, where are we? Here's the tap that I turn on and off, right? But then I put this in last couple years ago because when the water is slow, like it was today, it's helpful to shut that off to divert the water out of here. I don't know why. Sometimes it's slower than others. It's been raining like hell. Anyway, you have to ask the earth about that. The systems of water filtration. Anyway, so now it's going, so now the water will just flow into the village. Yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, oh this is all old thing. I'm gonna sing a song, or sing a part of a song. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Da dun dee ya dun dun dun, do da dun dun, la dun dun dee, da 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 dun, la dun do da dee dee dun, la dun dun dun, do dun dee dun, do da dun dun. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Oh, Caledonia's been calling me, and now I'm going home. And if I might become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Obviously, I can't remember the verses. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia's been calling me, now I'm going home. And if I might become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Yeah, that's a song I think I might like to learn. It's by Dougie MacLean. Dougie MacLean, is it? It's Dougie Mac... I think it's MacLean. Anyway, yeah, Scottish singer, you know. That might be one of his own songs, actually. Has the feel of an original, not a old traditional. But Caledonia, well, that's what the Romans, Latin, I guess, called Scotland. It's a love song for his Scottish home. Of course, Hibernia is what they called Ireland, I think. Hibernia, Caledonia. I wonder what they called Wales. Anyway. Of course, I don't think the Romans ever made it into Ireland. They didn't dare. Because they kicked their ass. Anyway. And, of course, they made up Hadrian's Wall. I guess that was to keep the wild Picts out. The wild Picts out of the civilized areas of England. Then the Romans left. And the Dark Ages happened, as they called them. They probably weren't all that dark, you know. Anyway. Oh, and then the Saxons came. Oh, okay. So anyway, I was talking about this. Anyway, I've been up and at 'em with this whole settler business. Ugh, I said I wasn't going to get into it, but it's just eating at me. Oh, yeah. Well, people move, right? My friend Joseph Natalho, oh man, he's the best, you know. His comment was great. Just, you know, we're all shifting, we're all temporary on this land, you know. Anyway, I've been getting into some hot water with a few friends. What can you do, right? Anyway, yeah, so look at the water's flowing. Getting into some slippery stuff here. Where are we at here? 8 minutes. I'm going to stop it. I'll come back in a minute. Okay. Oh, yeah, so here we are back again. Yeah, it's the same old walk every time. That's different every time, in my opinion. But this is a little bit that if you've seen my videos, you already know this. Let's kick the stick out of the way. Boom. It kind of opens up here, eh? So you can see a bit of that hill there. So much of traveling in the forest here is extremely enclosed, you know. It's quite something after coming from southern Alberta, near Pinch Creek, where you could count the number of trees and, you know, you could count the number of trees, right? Like all around where I was. Here, you could count the number of trees within 20 feet. That'd be it. Anyway, so yeah, so anyway, where are we? Yeah, so have a look. Gorgeous, eh? Yeah, so anyways, this is the thing. I was mentioning this whole thing about settler. I mean, you know, whatever, settler. It's a word, right? But it's being used as a bit of a verbal weapon, you could put it, you know. And I got friend kind of slammed that on me, and it really bugged me. I'm not going to say triggered, because I avoid those words, right? Anyway, I'm suspicious of them, is what it is. Anyway, yeah, settler. This seemed a bit weird, right? Like, I haven't been settled I'm pretty settled now, right? Pretty settled now. Been in this place for 3.5 years. A bit more than 3.5. It'll be 4 years in November. That's about as settled as I've ever been in probably, you know, yeah, in like 18 years. Before I was always roaming. And I was mentioning Joseph. Yeah, people move. Like my ancestors moved from Northern Ireland, like, I don't know, 600, whenever that shift was, Tauscore, into kind of Argyll, into the islands and highlands and all that, I guess. Eventually, when was the plantation? Some of them came back to Northern Ireland in 1700s or 16. When were the Ulster plantations? Shoot, anyway, in around there. Well, it was very, 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 and, well, it began a period of real difficulty over there. And, yeah. I read this great book when I was studying Gaelic in Donegal. I read this great book about the plantation times, and a lot of those people coming back would have spoken Gaelic. Like, they would have no problem speaking with the local population. It's always more complicated than people want to make it out to be. And I guess that ties in with this whole business, the whole politically correct thing that seems to be spinning with, settler, white privilege. It's not nothing, but it's just so simple to me. It's so simplistic minded. I don't like that. And so that group ideology thing, which I really hate too. Well, I really, not hate, but, it's also complicated. Avoid, I could say. Yeah, so anyway, what am I going on about now? Yeah, so some really interesting people I've been listening to, like, Weinstein. Oh shoot, Eric and Brett Weinstein. Interesting stuff, talks. And Heather, my brain is just mush today. I'll put links actually on the video. Heather Hying, that's it. Oh man, I love her. What she's saying and stuff and her thoughts. I love her, I guess, because I can relate to it all, a lot of it, right? She's an evolutionary biologist, so all that stuff I can relate to, a lot of levels. But yeah, so there's all those people, right? Interesting. Oh, Jordan Peterson's, that's where I get in trouble, right? People hate him, but there's a lot of interesting things coming out of the guy. I don't get it. Anyway, whatever. You can hardly even mention his name without people from, well, I was going to say Canada, but Canada and the States, just going off, right? But I have other friends in Canada, and I have some friends in Germany that listen to it. What's the fuss about this guy? It's just sort of, anyway, whatever you think's fine with me. I don't care. Anyway, but I'm gonna flip this. Ciao. Yeah, let's get back to the forest. I always gotta start blabbing on these. This would be considered a very well-used trail up here, eh? There's other trails that I can find on the ridges and things that you look at them and go, oh shoot. I mean, things grow over very quickly here, so you got to keep that in mind, right? Just see a faint wisp of a trail, you can follow it, but it might have not been used in a year, but it's still noticeable. But you got to keep your eyes out for them, because it helps if you're familiar with reading that sort of thing, right? It's not too difficult, but you need to be familiar with it. So now I'm coming to the end of the forest part of this walk. Well, I know what I can do. Here. So, about the water. I mentioned the water they put in some piping, that blue pipe, to help supply the village. It's all gravity, eh? Like, it just all comes down by gravity. There's no, like if the electricity goes out, no problem. There's no pumps needed. It's brilliant and simple, easy to fix. All that. I fix my own plumbing all the time. I would never touch plumbing in Canada. Jesus. No way. I'd get sued for anything. Anyway, so here we go. So I hear, this is someone made a homestay here. No one's ever here. So it's another house that no one goes to. Anyway, here are the big tanks, right? I haven't quite figured out which pipes go where, to which houses, but anyway, either all of these or one or two of these tanks help supply where I live. And you can see all the pipes on the ground, willy-nilly, blah, 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 blah. Who knows where they go. But this is one that comes in, And ooh, these ones here, you can see where they come into. And so there's like little streams all over the mountains, right? And what people have done is they've just created little tiny pools, like less than a meter across. And they make a thing and it just feeds the pipe, just, you know, with gravity. And yeah, it works really well. It's not very invasive, of course, and all that. And this place, before this was just a trail as well. And the road is just over here, right? Just down here. And I thought they were going to make this section into a cafe. They might still, but who knows, right? People make stuff and then it just doesn't... Anyway, it's hard to make a living with this sort of thing, right? Like you make it and you think people will come, and they do or they don't, and some seem to manage okay. And anyway, but it's kind of nice because they paved this thing. I don't care really if it's a trail. I like the trails, but if I need to, I could ride my motorbike up here if I wanted to. If I was in a rush and only wanted to walk the forest part. But the main thing I want to show you here is where it comes up from the road. Because before, it was like this little trail cut into the edge of the hill with like a bit of a bamboo step. That's stretching it, the term of step. But anyway, so that was that here, and then they built this, and it was great. A lot of people got some employment from that, and that's good. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, thanks for listening. This has been the usual, I guess, meandering thing, and yeah, ciao. Last shot, I'm going to show you the ridge up here. Okay, so this ridge goes down to my place, kind of, not really, but sort of. And then the ridges come up here, you can see it. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, a lot of these ridges have trails on them, if you know how to find it, if you know where to look. And then other times there's no trails, but it's pretty open. Okay, it's not open, but relatively speaking, it's open, right? You could walk through those trees up there and not get completely bogged down. Whereas down here, not so flippin' easy. Trails are really nice through this part of the forest. Anyway, so just thought I'd give you a little taste of that. Yeah, so I hope everyone's doing great. It's great here. It's not raining this morning, so that's why I'm out here. Ciao.